This is National Coming Out Week, which used to be a big deal because most people didn't come out until they either got to college or after college, and now it seems like increasingly everyone's coming out in high school, so it's not like a big deal. It used to be a really, really interesting week. I guess I'm really thinking more on Wednesday at noon. Tomorrow at noon is the actual sort of rally on the Old Main Steps. So it is a place that at noon, it's cool, and it is a place that historically many students in the LGBTQT, whatever, I don't know, there's so many, we've sort of blended everything from the queer community. It used to be the place where people would come out. And so historically, it's been a really cool event on Wednesdays at noon because people would come out to their friends and just publicly, and it's such a big thing. Those of you in the queer community know that, and if you're not, all you have to do is just imagine living your whole life knowing, or not your whole life, but increasingly becoming aware that you're not straight or that you were queer in some capacity, in some different ways, and didn't really fit into what the vast majority of people were saying that they were feeling and experiencing. And so really kind of keeping that in the closet or keeping that hidden. So you can imagine, the difficulties of coming out and how the pressure of that, especially into a world that didn't accept you. And so many people coming out and being rejected by their families and so on. Again, that's changing because increasingly people are more and more open. And so the rally on Wednesday at noon increasingly is just sort of like, okay, whatever, everyone's already out. So at some point in time, maybe we'll have no week at all. But it is cool. And Thursday night is the student drag show in Alumni Hall. Starts at 10 o'clock. Is that on queer time, by the way? So is it like 10:30?
It's a drag time, so it's probably like 45 after,
so
to be
about
honest.
2 in the morning, show up at Alumni Hall. All the drag queens and kings will just be starting. So
we used to have to do an assignment here called like an outside class assignment for Fresh Eyes. There's a whole Twitter thing. This would be a really cool event if you've never been to a drag show. Drag, the first time you go, is extremely like, what the hell is this? And then the next couple of times you go, it's actually pretty sick. So if you've never been, I'd really, really recommend, bring some ones, tip your queens.
Or king.
Have a great time. Or a king, and have a great time.
It's a lot of fun, man. Drag is a lot of fun. Anyone do drag? Does anyone do drag in here? Anyone? Anybody? My buddy Brenton. Dude, first time I did drag, I was in 5th grade. And it was cool. So, it's a lot of fun, man. Seriously, Alumni Hall Thursday night, 10, but I wouldn't get there till 10:30. Can you go to the next slide, bro? We're going to talk about life near the ends, but before we do that, I want to say something. For those of you who are forgetting everything I've said all semester, everything I will say, what I'm going to say in the next 10 minutes is probably the most useful information that you will receive in this class. And that is understanding or thinking about or contemplating or dissecting this relationship between choice and chance. We sometimes say freedom and determinism. We see freedom and structure. We see action and structure. We see choice and chance. Doesn't really matter how you cut it up. But the idea is, in the world of the social sciences, we spend a lot of time trying to understand the causes of human behavior. That's all we do. Social science is the cause of human behavior. Like, what is it? Why is it that people do one thing as opposed to another? Okay? Why is it that certain groups of people act in one way and not another? Like, what's the cause? That's what science is all about. Science is about discovering causality. So we're trying to understand the cause of human behavior. If you think about all of the issues we talk about in this class, we're really trying to dissect the cause of why something happens. So, and the consequences of it. Think about Muslim women wearing hijabs, right? Are Muslim women choosing to wear hijabs? I've never spoken with a Muslim woman who did not say it was my choice to wear a hijab. Never, ever have I spoken with a Muslim woman who covers. But you could look on the outside and say, but wait a minute, I know you're saying it's your choice, but you live in a culture that emphasizes that women should wear hijabs. So in the U.S. or in Western cultures that don't emphasize wearing hijabs, why is it that we don't see women just randomly choosing to wear hijabs? So choice, it's like, no, this is my choice. I'm making this, I'm deciding for myself. I'm doing it. Then why don't we see it in other cultures where the same number or even a small number of women could choose to wear hijabs? So that right there would be a tip-off to say, maybe wearing a hijab is not necessarily your full choice. There must be something else behind the process. So there must be chance, i.e. outside factors that are coming into play. In this particular case, a culture that says, hey, we think it's a really good idea that women cover. Maybe there are no laws that say women cover. There's nothing about that, but an entire culture that is oriented in that direction. And so when that comes into play, then we start to say, okay, hang on a minute. Maybe it's not fully a choice. And yet at the same time, each individual could hold their ground firmly and say no. But yeah, maybe it's about the culture. But nonetheless, for me, I had a choice. And the choice was, it was given to me when I was 13 or 14 or 16 or whatever it is. And the choice was, listen, you can wear a hijab or you cannot wear a hijab. And you can wear your hijab in lots of different ways. You can cover your face. You can not cover your face. However you want to do it. You can do it or not do it. And maybe the parents were really even saying, listen, we don't even care. We absolutely don't care. Doesn't matter. And then one would imagine it's much more of a choice. Imagine the mother of this young woman is not wearing a hijab. And if the mother's not wearing a hijab, then that tells her, like, okay, I really don't have to wear a hijab. So now it makes it even closer to being her choice. And yet, what if her friends start wearing the hijab? Because their parents maybe even push them a little bit, or they just decide to. Or what if their neighbors do? Or what if their favorite aunt wears a hijab? What if the older sister does? Suddenly, now we're moving back into chance a little bit because there are more factors and forces that would shape that choice in some direction. You get it, right? You see that? And yet you can never sit back and say, yeah, but she's not choosing. She's not fully choosing because she has a role in making the choice. Okay, are we good? Just like I wore these Western clothes today. I didn't wear a dishdasha. Whatever. I didn't wear the dress of a man from Namibia or a tribe in the Quechua tribe in Peru or Ecuador, right? But I wore these Western clothes. And it's like, okay, I chose to, but I didn't really choose to because, like, I don't know, what else am I going to wear? It's like my whole culture pushes me in this direction. And so we're always in this place of choice and chance and choice and chance. And the truth is, they all come in together. It's all part of the same package. We want to understand the cause of human behavior. You got to look at choice and chance, and they're fused. They're really fused. And what you see, and this is the key, y'all. You ready? Okay, hang on. Forget everything I just said, because I know right now, like, your thoughts are muddled, and you're thinking, okay, when are you going to tell me something important, or whatever you're thinking? I have no idea. It's right now. I'm right now going to tell you something important. When you hear people arguing, whether it's talking heads on television discussing the foreign policy of Donald Trump, or your friends arguing about the causes of homelessness, or welfare or wealth, or we're arguing in here about the economic meltdown in 2008, whatever it is, when you hear people arguing about these kinds of sociological, political, or economic issues, almost always, one of them is leaning toward choice in their explanation, and the other one is leaning toward chance in their explanation. So one is grabbed on a chance. So go with the hijab one. Someone is like focusing on no, but it's her choice. Like she still in the end had to make a choice. She could defy her father. She could defy her mother. She could defy culture. She could do whatever. It's still her choice. And the other person, they're stuck there. They can't see that, no, all those things happen within a context. And this person over here, looking at the larger sociological context, is not thinking about, no, but in the end, she still does make a choice. You see, so it's these two things that are always operating together. And almost always what I see is someone's stuck down there or they're stuck down there, and they miss the fusion. And the intellect, the intellectual understanding is in the fusion. It's seeing them both. All right, man. Are we cool? We got it? We got it there? Dude, that, if you hang on to that, first off, those of you who like to argue, you have friends or you have your uncle Luis who's like really annoying, and you're always trying to win an argument or something. Whatever it is, if you just remember what I just said about choice and chance and like being in one side or the other, and you just keep flipping it around in the middle of an argument, you'll rock and roll, man. Okay? Got it? So, bro, here, stand up real fast. What's your name again? Daryl. So look at Daryl's. So y'all are getting, look at Daryl's arms, man. Dude, you're like, you don't quite have sleeves, but damn near, right? It's almost. You got a lower sleeve. Okay, so Daryl's all tatted up. Do you have other tattoos, dude?
Yeah, I got one on my back.
Dude, you're like the tattoo dude. So here, what led you to get tattoos?
I got my mom's name as like a birthday gift, and after that I was.
Well, you got one of your mom naked?
No.
All right. What did you say?
I got my mom's name.
Oh,
as a
name.
birthday.
All right. All right. Okay.
And
No naked mothers.
no, that'd
All
be
right.
weird.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be,
really weird.
dude. That would be creepy. Man.
Nah, but after I got my mom's name, like it looked really boring on my arm.
Yeah.
So I got a dream catcher, and then after that, it was pretty much downhill from there.
Okay. Was that your choice to get your tattoos?
Yeah.
Hang on. Talking to the mic.
Yeah.
It's your choice. How much of a choice was it?
All of my choice.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dude,
Yeah.
does anyone want to respond though? Does anyone want to respond? Does anyone have something to say? Who wants to respond? Dude, hang on, real fast. Pair up really quickly. Just pair up, person next to you. What do you want to say to him? I asked him, is it your choice? And he says, oh yeah, they're all my choices. Can you just pair up really fast? What do you want to say to him?
I like your earring. Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get that from? I like
That
it.
one?
I dig that. That's okay.
This one that somebody made for me.
I made it for you?
Yeah. Dude, the question is it his choice? Bro. What would you say, bro? Here, hang on, hold the mic. Hang on. All right, listen up. What's your name again, bro? Michael. Yo, Michael, what would you say to him?
I was just going to ask him.
Yo, hang on.
I was just going to ask him if a lot of people around him, had tattoos. So if part of his decision was influenced by, like, if he just wanted to be like the other people. Because I know a lot of people who get tattoos because, all their
No,
friends.
hang on. Don't go further. Your first part is perfect. Go ahead.
No. I actually was the first person in my family to like get a
Dude,
tattoo.
family, hang on. Can you respond to that? He said first person, you said, how many people around you have tattoos? And he said, I was the first person in my family. Can you respond to that?
Well, that's
Yes, my friends had tattoos as well in high school, yeah. Like a few of them, but there weren't enough where it would have been something where I'd have been like, yeah, like I'm gonna go get a tattoo because they didn't have a lot and they really weren't like seen.
They didn't have your mom's name, that's for sure.
I mean,
And they probably didn't have your mom naked either. Bro, do you have a response to that?
Well, I just know from personal experience, like a lot of kids in my high school, they had tattoos and they would always wear them like they're the coolest thing ever. And that kind of made other people say like, man, I really want a tattoo. That's going to make me look so cool, you know, to mark my skin
Cool
out.
like him, man.
Well, let me
Like,
put it
dude,
to you
you're
like
pretty
this.
cool.
I also said when I was like 12 or 13, I said I was never going to smoke weed. But
And you dude, and let me guess, you still haven't, correct? Okay, listen though, here, so, indeed, because I only eat it, right? So, listen, bro, but here's the thing, don't go to your personal experience. Take your personal experience and take it outward, right? Let me give you an example of this. When I first started teaching, bro, back in the 20th century, right? So 1984, let me just talk about students going back to 1984. Nobody had tattoos, man. First tattoo I ever saw on a student was probably, first off, it was way late in the game because probably people had a few tattoos, but they were hidden. So he never saw tattoos. It's only been in like the past 7 years. And so like what happened in the past 7 years that suddenly everybody has a tattoo and everybody thinks that they're choosing to get a tattoo. When it's like, where were the people choosing before that to get tattoos? You know what I mean? Like if you had been my student, bro, 20 years ago, I can almost guarantee that you would not have chosen freely to get a tattoo. Well, probably not. Go ahead, talk in the mic.
well, probably not. I mean, because I guess back, I don't want to say back in your time.
Dude, back in my time.
Back in your time, I mean, looking like tattoos weren't like a really like accepted thing in society.
Exactly. So therefore, people weren't choosing to get them. And now suddenly people are choosing to get them. And as they're choosing to get them, but are they really choosing? Because they're not. Because this is the question. Like your choice to get a tattoo is very different than, let's say, my choice to have earrings. Your choice to have earrings is very different than my choice to have earrings. When I got my first earring, bro, I literally was the second person I ever saw in my life with an earring. I was 18 years old. And I was a rock and roller, man, so I was like in the world. The second person I ever saw with an earring. You have what, 5? I have 7. You have 7. I have 7 but, dude, fucking A, dude. All right, so you get it. I don't have a tattoo. But had I grown up in your generation, right, if I was 20 years old or 21 years old, I guarantee I would have tattoos. So when you say, no, I chose to have tattoos, I think historically, and I say, nah, place yourself in a different place. No, you can't, because if you would have chosen, if it's a free choice, then we see it, we don't see people, we don't see the patterns in the free choice. Like once you see the patterns, then the free choice starts to get removed from it. You see, like hairstyles. It's like suddenly skinny jeans are in, and like certain hair is in, and like it's getting, afros are starting to come back a little bit, and like then, like a whole 9 yards, bro, right? The whole bleaching thing on the top of your head, Odell Beckham, like that, the whole thing is, it's just like one after another. We're all influenced. Dude, am I right? Odell Beckham, right? You got it. Dude, I thought that's who you were when I walked in, by the way. I'm like, what the fuck? All right. Does anyone have anything? Dude, you see that, right? So you were on with your high school, right? But what I was saying, you don't have to don't use your individual example of a high school. You can use it, which is cool, but go out a little bit too, right? Yeah. Dude, nice. Thanks, dog. Dude, do you see that? Do you see it? So did he also choose to get a tattoo? Did he also choose to get a tattoo, bro? Did he make a choice? He did, right? He made a choice, right? You did make a choice, bro. It's just that your choice was shaped by things around you, right? It's just like your choice to wear the clothing you're wearing. It's shaped by things around you. So if you're in a different environment, you're going to make different choices. That's just how it works. And so what you notice when he walked up here and I said, did you choose to get a tattoo? And he said, yes, that's what we do all the time. You're all right. We're all thinking that we're making free choices. We're all thinking like, no, but in me, it's a choice. It's not. All of our choices exist within the context. So we always have to look at it. And even me getting an earring wasn't entirely, just because I never saw one didn't mean that I wasn't somehow shaped by things around me. So I was like, for me, I was a little bit of a rebel. So I'm like, like you, clearly. Although you're less of a rebel. No, definitely not. Because I know, because I see more people looking like you, right? And estoy tocando, by the way. Yeah. And so.
I don't know what that means.
It means. No, you don't need to know. It's just so. Ya tengo una conversación con los latinos acá. La gente que habla español. Okay. So anyway, so listen. So the issue is it's all part of choice and chance, and they all go together. Good? Dude, thanks, dog. Nice tattoos, by the way. All right. Do you see that? Okay, cool. So hang on to that. Hang on to it. All right, cool. Go to the next. Now check this out. Look at these differences here. Choice and chance. Apply choice and chance to this. So let me show you what this means, okay? So this is median family wealth. So we take families. And we're taking averages here. This is all averages. So, I can explain the limitations of these data in a hot minute. But the gray is 1989 data, and the blue is 2013 data, okay? So it's not fully up to date. It's 4 years old, but it hasn't changed that much. And so you take all of the wealth you take all of your debt, all of your assets, and you subtract your debt. That includes a house, right? So if you live if you buy a $500,000 house, but you only put $100,000 down on it, that means the bank owns $400,000. That means you don't have a $500,000 house. That means you own 1/5 of a $500,000 house. Is that cool? Because you only own all you have invested in that is $100,000. So then you take all of your wealth, all of your assets, and you subtract your debt from it, and that becomes your wealth. So family wealth on average. So look at white people. So here's for average white people. Now, mind you, this also, because this is median, so this is half the white people are above this and half are below. So it also throws off the data. It's not an average, right? But nonetheless, and then look at Asians. Now, this is particularly high because increasingly, and we're going to talk about Asians, I don't know when. I was going to do it today, and then I just decided to talk about this. But what we're seeing, the reason Asian family wealth is particularly high, and it's really catching up to white people, is because increasingly Asians coming to the United States are more highly educated. And so you come, with college degrees, or you come with PhDs, or you come, and then you move into areas, into fields that are, where you can make more money. And so, whereas lots of Hispanics coming into the United States, historically, large numbers of Latinos coming into the U.S. come over land. And so lots of people can be less wealthy and whatever the case is. So we see that number and then we have different forms of racism. But anyway, these are newer immigrants. There's a lot of poverty in the Asian community, but these are newer immigrants. And so we see numbers much higher. So it's sort of like, hang on. So anyway, Asian, I have so much I want to say. I'm losing my mind here trying to hold it straight. So whites, Asians, Hispanics, blacks, okay? So see this? Did you have a question, bro?
I was just wondering if that was annual household incomes.
Yes, exactly. It includes household income. This is wealth. This is wealth. All the money they have, all the assets they have. So you add your stocks and your bonds and your cars and the principal that you have in your life insurance policy, the cash in a whole life policy. It includes, your land. It includes everything, right? But then start subtracting all your debt, including student debt and car loans and one thing after another. Okay? Yep. So now, mind you, look at these differences here. What accounts for these differences? Choice and chance. Choice, are these people making choices? So let's take choice one. Let's just stick ourselves right in choice. So you got to say, well, these people must be, if we're going to land right there, right? This is a free country. Anybody can get rich. Anybody can do whatever they want to do in the United States. You come here, my grandfather did it. Anybody can do it, whatever the case is, right? Stay in chance. So these people, or choice, pardon me. These people must be making some kinds of choices to climb the ladder of upward mobility that these people aren't making. These people down here must be making some kinds of choices that are not allowing them to climb the ladder of upward mobility. There must be something going on with choices. They're back here, and these other people are climbing, choosing. What are they choosing? Must be something, right? It's got to be something. See, choice and chance. Or you come down to chance, come down to determinism, come down to factors and forces. So watch this, y'all, right? You got that, right? Did we get that? You got that, right? You got it? All right, man. Dude. Now, get stuck on the determinism stuff. A lot of people at the bottom down here, if you're at the bottom, whether you're poor and white, poor and Asian, poor and black, poor and Native American, poor and Latino or Hispanic, you're going to tend to come down here. You're not going to make the argument for choice because you're looking at your life and you're saying, come on, man. We're just like everybody else. We're working hard. Most poor people in the United States are holding full-time jobs. Most people aren't poor. Most people are not poor in the United States because they're just hanging out on their front porch, like drinking Genesee and smoking blunts or whatever they do. Like they're not doing that. They're working full-time jobs. So like you're not going to make the choice argument. You're going to come down here and make the chance argument. You're going to say, listen, no, there's things happening outside of us. There's structure, there's racism, there's discrimination, there's something that keeps us from going up. It's like once you start poor, it's really hard to move up the ladder of upward mobility. There are all these obstacles that get in the way, and it's really the rich people, they tend to give the best jobs to other rich people, and there are all sorts of factors and forces that come together, and right? Whereas these people down here, they are going to be less likely to make this argument, and you're going to be more likely to make this argument down here. Say, listen, why am I rich? Or why do I have more money? Because I obviously made choices to have more money, or my parents did, or my grandparents did. They didn't just get money because one day someone just came up and said, here, take all this money. You see, so if you have more power and wealth, you're going to tend to take this argument. You get that, right? You see it? You see how it works? Dudes, if I could just mind meld with you all something right now. Dudes, here. You want to be in the middle, because both are right. But what happens is the reason you watch people on like the O'Reilly Factor, or who knows, CNN or Talking Heads, or somebody in some sociology class or whatever, you see people arguing with each other, it's because one's down there and one's down here. When it's all true, what you need to do is disentangle the ways in which these things are operating together. People down here, they are making choices. Sometimes the choices are really bad choices. And sometimes the choices are just the choices that they have to make to get on with things. Like, for example, people down here who don't go to college. And they don't go to college because they got to stay home and take care of their families. Or people down here who do go to college because their families say, listen, no matter what, you have to go to college. You have to go. Or the families who said, no matter what's going to happen is we're going to have nothing, and we're going to work 2 jobs and 3 jobs and kill ourselves by the time we're 60, but we're going to make sure that you go to a private school, because you just are. Because if you go to a private school, you're going to get a better education, and then you're going to do better than we did. And then the other family down there is like, listen, man, I'm working 2 jobs, but the one job I keep getting laid off of, I can't afford that private school. And it's like, come on, man, I'm working really, really, really hard. But there are other things going on that I can't sing into the private school. And then you end up, okay, so you go to a community college, or you end up majoring in, sociology instead of engineering, because you didn't really pick the math stuff up really well when you were younger, and because of the school you went to, and they sucked, and they just kept passing you through the math classes, and then you got to Penn State, and you took your first math class, and you're like, holy like, dang, man, that, like, and then any number of things. You see, it all goes together. All the stories are true. They're all true. Are we cool? Dudes, if you get that, if you can just sit with that, first off, you'd just be so far ahead intellectually speaking. Because you don't just get stuck in really like dumb arguments. Because you see the complexity of it all. But we're going to keep talking about it. We're not starting here. So look at the difference here, right? You can't say, one of the problems we have with the race conversation in the United States, by the way, we're going to do an activity in a couple seconds. So the rest of the class basically is going to be an activity. But right now, the activity is listening to me. So look, one of the struggles that we have, dude, that was funny, actually. Okay. One of the... All right. So, is that white people... Can I just say it like this, man? Black and brown people... And some white people, I don't know, sometimes they talk like people just come up and give white people money. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, here, take a job. Like, here, just take all this money. Go, go, go. Like, whatever you need. It's like, that's what we do to each other. But the truth is, life's tough for everybody, man. Everyone's making decisions. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's doing what they need to try to do to move along. And some people, obviously, start with more benefits than other people, but it's really difficult. And so what happens then when you start talking, when we look at graphs like this, and we see white people with all this money, and Hispanics and blacks and the Native Americans are down here somewhere. And again, Asians are in the middle. Once again, Asians, like half the Asian community does really well, and the other half struggles. Okay, but when you see this with white people with all the money, and you're down, you're seeing that you're in one of these categories. It's easy to think that all white people are just really rich, and they're like, oh my God, and they just give each other things, and it's not. And so white people reject it, and so we never have a really good conversation about race and class. So today we're talking about class. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do one more thing. Go to the next slide. Take a look at this. Do you see what that is? SAT scores and family income. So these are data. I think these data are from 2014. Okay, so 3 years ago. So students from wealthier families do better on the SATs. So students from families that have income of over 200,000, family income, so combined income, these are their average scores. And look at the average score for students who are really poor. And then look here, right? You see that? Dudes, has anyone ever seen this before? Besides you, bro. Has anyone ever seen this before? Dude, this is mind-blowing. Okay, are you ready? These aren't just data. Look, basically what this is saying is the one test that almost every student in the United States takes, the one test that is closest to an IQ test of anything that we give out in the United States, okay? Closest to an IQ test. Wait, hang on, there's a lot of noise in here. Dudes, the one test that almost everybody takes, this IQ test, okay? And it goes up as family income goes up. Meaning that the number one correlate of this test is income. That means class, family income, directly shapes IQ, the intellect, right? Which is not IQ. It's the closest thing to an IQ test we really do. That everybody does, right? Because it's not really IQ. It's like a preparation but it's close. It shapes it, meaning that if you have more money, you're going to get higher scores. You're going to be better off. You're going to go to better schools. You're going to be better off, better programs, better everything. And then you're going to get more money, and then you're going to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. And yet, we live in a world that says if you work really hard and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and keep working and working and working, you can get there. You can get up here. But yet, what we see is year after year, it's like, man, these people down here keep pulling. They pull the bootstraps up till the straps break off. And they just keep going, and that's some of you. And we keep going and going and going. And yet, they go a little bit, but these people keep going further. It's like, why is that? Because you're going to work really, really hard, and somebody down here is going to score here. Somebody is. Okay? So if you have a friend and your friend is like dirt poor and they eat rats for dinner and I don't know, cockroaches for dessert or whatever they do. I have no idea what your poor friends do. And they scored really high in the SRTs. You can't say, this is a gift from me. Don't say because it's really not a good thing that you want to say. Don't say, but they scored really high so everybody can do it. Dudes, everyone's walking through the same hoops and they're not doing it. And why are these people doing it? It doesn't work that way. One person outside of it doesn't change the whole rule of the process. That's what sociology is about. That's what we're studying. We're studying groups. And group behavior shows us this right here. And when you see this, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. But that doesn't mean that these people don't make choices. They can still make choices to study really hard and work really hard and do whatever they got to do. And damn it, they're going to like score really high. And some of them do. But the vast majority who work really hard and study really hard, they still don't. They just don't. And these people up here who don't even work hard and study hard and they still get high scores because that's just the way it is. And some of them get low scores because they're complete slackers. And some of them, like me, who are down here, didn't even know what the SAT was. Somebody signed me up for it. I was still stoned from the night before when I took it. I show up for the SAT and I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And I'm hungover, I'm stoned, I probably smell like weed. And I scored in the 51st percentile, so I'm above average, which is really awesome. All I wanted was 51. That was the magic number, baby. Give me 51 and I'll be really happy. I just want to be above average. That's it. Okay, so look. Next slide. Members of which ancestry group on average have the lowest SAT scores? Which group, y'all? This is a no-brainer. On average, which group has the lowest SAT scores? Dude, you ready? You're going to answer it for us. What's your name? What's your name?
My name's Adam.
Adam. Adam's going to answer the question. Adam, the white man, don't be racist, Adam. Who has the lowest SAT scores on average? Stand up so all the black people and brown people can see who you are. This is Adam, everybody.
I'm going to go from other answers in this class and just going to say blacks.
There's only one answer. There are two answers, actually. Go ahead.
I'm going to say blacks have the lowest.
And who else?
And Hispanics.
Dude, give him a hand. All right. All right. Dude. White people don't want to, even asking that question is like, oh shit, I know it's blacks and Hispanics, but I don't want to be racist. If I say it, it's going to be racist. It's like Sam said, 1 + 1 equals, I know the answer is 2, but damn, it might be 3. 2 might be a racist answer. So I'm just teasing you, bro. That was good. You're cool. All right. I'm not teasing you, actually. I'm just making light of us crackers. All right, so look, go to the next slide. So look at that. Of course, right? Who has the highest scores? Who has the lowest scores? Makes sense. Whites and Asians. and then American Indians. And the reason for American Indians here, by the way, is because so many people claim to be American Indian or Native American, and they're not. They might be white, they might be black, who knows what they are, right? And then look at Hispanics and blacks. But here's the deal. What if I showed you this, and I didn't show you the other graph? What if I showed you this, and I didn't show you the other graph? What if I showed you that? And what if okay, you ready? Hang on. We're going to pretend I never showed you the other graph, okay? Got it? Okay? I only show you this. You know nothing about, hang on, can you go back, bro? That, you didn't see that graph, okay? Hang on, follow me. Are we ready? Follow me. This is like a court where the judge tells the jury to strike that from the record and pretend you never heard it. Okay, cool? We got it? Okay, go ahead. So you never heard that. This one. Hey, Adam. Who has the lowest SAT scores in the United States? Who do you think it is, by the way? No. Or let me ask you this. Black and Hispanics, you can see, right? Why is that? Why do they have the lowest scores, bro? Careful not to be racist.
Because we
now, mind you ready? Watch what happens right here. Hang on, before you start answering. Every black and Hispanic person in this room, because you didn't see the other graph, you're all going, hey, Adam, stand up again. So you're going like, oh yeah, what's this racist white dude going to say right now? Yeah. And everyone's looking, and you're all ready to grab the mic. Am I right? Because this racist white dude, he's going to be a racist white dude, and he's going to give the wrong answer. And so, like, tell us, why are these scores? Why are blacks and Hispanics? Why do they have lower scores?
Wait, am I saying because we didn't?
You never saw the other graph.
Well, I have no idea then.
Oh, that's a safe white answer. Right. I don't know. Because they're not as smart as white people? No, I can't say that. Oh, okay, I don't know. You get it, right? You see how it is? So when we dig, thanks, dude. That was brave of you. So you got it, right? So now, see what's oftentimes behind all these things? There's a lot of stuff going on. Dude, what happens? Okay, so I got one for you. What happens if you take a black person, an Hispanic person, a white, and an Asian person, and they're exactly the same? They grew up in the exact same environment. And we do lots of this, not just one person, because it could be just one individual. Like, you're not the same as you, even though you kind of look alike. But you're not, right? You're different. But you put everybody in the same place, and then we still compare their scores. What we see on average when we do it with hundreds and thousands of people is that black people and Hispanic people will still get lower scores, even when they're exactly equal to white people. So like, okay, what's going on with that? And then some people start talking, well, maybe they're biologically inferior, and then this and that. They don't get, you see what I mean? It gets really complex. Not that much lower, but a little bit lower. Okay, so go ahead, go one more. Okay, go back. All right, so check this out. Now I want to have a conversation. That's from last semester. Okay, we did a survey in the beginning of the semester, and I just forgot to send it out to you all. What's your new? So this is the same. 705 people took the survey. Excuse me. It's going to be the same. If I do it this semester, the answers are going to be the same. Okay, got it? So assume that this is your class, because the class doesn't change very much at all. If it was 5 or 10 years ago, that'd be different, but it's just, a few months, and it's a lot of people, and so therefore I asked, what's your nuclear family's approximate gross annual income? Over $250,000. So look at that. What's that number? A little over 20%. Less than 40,000. Now, mind you, if I can go back 15 years, these numbers look very different. Penn State's getting more and more expensive, more and more exclusivity coming here to Penn State. Fewer and fewer really poor people coming here to Penn State. More and more international students. Like, things are shifting a little bit. So we don't have that many really poor students. But this is what it would be. So what I want to do right now is I want to have a conversation. And I'm going to bring up 6 people. And we're going to bring up first 3. I want to find in the classroom the 3 people who are at the very top. who have you think your parents probably have, you don't have to tell us what it is, but they probably make more money than any other parents in the class. We'll make it 4 people. I want a white person, a black person, an Hispanic person, and an Asian person. And the Asian, we can sort of play off a little bit, maybe Middle Eastern. I'd rather get Americans than international students, but if we have to go international, we can. That's okay. And then I want the 4 poorest people in the class. Same thing, white, black, Asian, etc. Okay, are we cool? I don't know who you are. How are we going to find out who you are? Dude, are you on the top? You just look like you could be on the top. It's just it's a feeling, man. I don't know what it is. Anyway, how are we gonna do it? I want the richest 4 people first. Who you think you are the richest? You don't have to talk about. Listen, you're not gonna have to talk about intimate details of your family. Like you don't have to give your parents' social security numbers and bank accounts and stuff like that. Okay? But we're just going to have a conversation. Is she on the top? She is, right? Well, no, hang on. Are you? Do you think you might be? Okay, you come down. We have our black candidate for the top. We're going to do top first. I need a white person. Who? Are you Asian? I'm mixed. Mixed? Yeah, it could count unless we... Hang on. Hey, go ahead, stand up. Who else? What do we got? Maybe you, bro? No, you got to go higher, way higher than 250,000. That's above 250,000. Like I'm looking for people whose parents make like $1 million or more. No, because I know you might be in here. Well, hang on. It may not be you, but it might be. No, I need like serious money, man. Serious cash. Okay, $500,000 maybe, but... Dude, who has their hand up? Dude, you? Bro, dude, you? But it says shit ton. Yo, in the blue? Okay. Yo, who else? Do we have, let's just stick with black people for a second. At this point in time, what's your name? What is it? Abby? Abby, that is such a rich black name, man. Oh my God. Look at the richest black woman in class. Her name's Abby. It's not like Tynesha or Saquanda or... All right, Abby, it's going to be you just on your name alone. Okay. Yeah, you got to go down the front. Wait, and who else? Maybe you? What's that? You're Middle Eastern, but from the U.S.? Yeah? Dude, are you from the U.S.? Parents. Dude, hang on. We got to have a private conversation here. Okay, why don't you come down? Do we have any Latinos? Who are the Latinos? The wealthiest Latino. You don't have to make that. You need to be the wealthiest Latino in class. Dude. Dude, is that you, bro? You think it's you? All right, Mom. Why don't you come too? Yeah, we'll do 5. Okay. Dude, you're the only guy down here, man. Okay. Yeah. Go get some nice shots. All right. So what's your name?
I'm Jade.
Jade, you can sit on the desk. If you're more comfortable sitting, you can sit. What's that? Yeah, we'll take you, dude. We'll accept. Just because you're a guy, we'll accept. So what's your name again?
Jade.
Jade? Oh, that's a rich name. All right. And you're half. You're Filipina and white?
No.
Oh.
I'm British and Singaporean.
It's British and Singaporean. Okay, but you've lived here for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I'm Nushina, and I'm...
Rashida?
Nushina.
Nushina?
Yeah, and I'm...
Now, see, that would be a black name. You know what I mean? Okay.
I'm Persian, and
Okay.
I'm from the U.S.
All right. And Abby.
Well, my actual name is Abigail, but everyone calls me Abby. I'm Ghanaian, but I live in New Jersey.
Okay, you're from New Jersey. Okay.
I'm Grace. Do I say where I'm from?
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Washington, D.C.
Washington. Yep, bro. Is anyone from Pennsylvania here? All out of state.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, dude.
I'm from Bucks County, but my dad's from Cuba originally.
From Cuba originally? All right, man. So here's the, if at any point in time someone realizes, come on, man, my parents are a hell lot richer than that, then you can go. So was there, we're just going to go through this really fast. I want you to get a picture. First off, understand one thing, y'all, right? We have this idea because of these, can you go back to the one graph, bro? No, the one, back, that right there. We have this idea that every time we show graphs like this, and that it's like, oh, you look around at black people in the class or Hispanic people in the class, Mexican, whatever the case, or a white person or Middle Eastern or Indian, and you like immediately just assume that that's the case. And there are some really, really poor white people in this class. And so when we start talking about black people and brown people and white people, it's like, dude, man, there are poor white people in this class. You have more money. You probably have more money in your family than I could probably pick out 20 white people in this class, and you probably have way more money your family does than their families combined, right? And so what I want to do with this is just instill into you that there's this thing called class that goes beyond race. You know, we're talking about race, but it goes beyond race. You look at Abby here, or you look at, Nushina. Nushina, or bro, what's your name again? George? Look at George. George has nothing in common with like some dude whose like parents are Mexican. He's Latino, right? Half Latino, but he's Latino, right? You claim it because that's what it is, right? And so there's some dude whose parents work in the mushroom farms down in Bucks County, and they're from Mexico. Dude, he has nothing in common with them, man. Look, those numbers up there, Hispanics, dude, George isn't up there. He's not part of that. Like, he is, but he's, like, at a very different place. So you see, like, you got to go. Okay, so here are my questions, right? When did you first realize you were in the upper class? Anybody can answer. Just grab the mics and answer really fast. When did you first realize that?
When I got my car, like, yeah.
How old were you, like 12?
I was 16.
Yeah, what kind of car?
Cadillac.
Cadillac. Damn, dog. What year? Do not even say 2015. What year?
I think it's 2015 or 16. It's an SUV.
SUV? Yeah? How about you? When did you realize?
I would say when I got my car too, but mine's just like a 2016 Honda Civic. It's
It's just a Honda
okay,
Civic.
Wait, that sounds so bad. Oh my God, that sounds so bad.
Hey, by the way, the next 4 people, hang on, you ready? The next 4 people who are going to come up here, remember that comment right here, okay? Just a 2016 Honda Civic, okay?
I didn't mean it.
Go, how about somebody else? So that's maybe when you got your car, somebody else. Grace.
I realized it for the first time when I went to my dad's office.
And
In what?
what did you see?
A really, really, really like elaborate office building. He works like right next to the White House.
And so you had a big office, like big wooden desk.
He has like the penthouse office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
what did you see? Like, what did you like see, really?
The ceilings were like golden, like they're like it's like an insane office building and like. But the thing is, like, I never knew because he's like a really frugal guy. He grew up like in a really like started from the bottom family, and so he never showed me. So the only time I really ever see like his office is during the 4th of July because he doesn't like to be like flashy or anything about it. Like he doesn't like. My mom drives a Honda, I drive a Jetta, and
Dude.
then he drives his BMW because he's my dad. But like that, but he's like he doesn't like to be flashy about it. Really.
No, cool. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, did you all hear that? This is really important. You're actually going to read a really cool article for the second quiz that says a lot about this right here. It's like it's like not being flashy. It's like we have this idea because we find, hang on, I'm going to say, that like people who are wealthy are like celebrities who are wealthy and their job is to be flashy. But most rich people, you're not going to be. If you have money, you're not going to be flashy. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so basically, I think I only
Talk right into the mic.
I think I only realized it until like later on, like at the end of high school, because I came from like a really, like everyone was pretty well off, or like everyone's parents had graduate degrees, were all engineers, so everyone was from the same background. But I also saw like my family income increase from when I first moved to America. When we like moved to the first apartment, didn't even have like a couch, so we all slept on the floor. And it only like increased with my dad's like firm becoming really successful in the end.
So when the five of you were thinking about college, or we can just jump back and forth, was there ever a talk about how much talk was there about how much the college cost? Was there no, Grace, none? That wasn't part of it? Uh-huh.
So my parents are refugees, so like they really emphasized education for me, but like I'm out of state because I live in DC, but initially I was more worried about the cost than they were, just because I have a younger sister as well, and so like I knew like my dad's like he's pretty old, but like I just knew I don't want him to like continue working, and he was thinking about retiring somewhere like in the islands, so like I kind of like thought more than he did. He was always like, the cost doesn't matter, but for me, I was more concerned.
So are you an oldest child?
Yeah.
Dude, oldest children, man. We're so you're all so responsible. Bro, was it an issue for you?
So for me, it was like my dad kind of just told me he had to put himself through college, so like he never wanted me to have to do that all on my own. But he said the one thing he would always make all my siblings do is take out some sort of loan, just so it was like our investment just as much as it was his. So like, if we screwed up, like it's our money going down the drain too.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, how about you?
Well, my parents, they came from Ghana, and they just said like they don't want us to worry about like school-wise, because they said they got us, like they don't want us to struggle. So whatever school we go to, they'll pay for it. Just don't waste time. So yeah.
Do you guys all have credit cards?
What?
Do you have credit cards?
Credit cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you all have credit cards? Right. It's like, what are you asking? Like, that's like, do I own an elephant? Like, of course I own an elephant, right? Okay. I mean, okay, who pays your credit cards? Does the bill go to you, or does the bill go to somebody else?
My dad.
Yeah. Your
Mine
dad?
comes to me.
It comes to
I
you?
pay my own.
Dude, you?
No.
It doesn't come to you? And what have you learned about what is possible in your life? Like, what's possible for you? Let's go with Grace first.
I went to a public school. I actually chose to go to a public school because I didn't want to be around like the pretentious private school kids in my area. And I was a writing center tutor, and I was exposed like I'm not gonna like lie. Not a lot of white kids needed to be tutored at my school because there were like 10% of them. Like I went to a predominantly I was the minority in my school, and most of the kids I worked with, like when I was helping them write their college essays, like I really just realized like how lucky I am, like, because I like went to Catholic school for middle school, and I just kind of thought like, oh, all this is like normal, like this is what everyone has, and then like I went to TC, and it was like I was like, dang, like I need to like wake up every morning and be like so grateful and like just thank my dad, because like he, even though like he never really was like, oh yeah, like you can't go out of state or anything, like he was like, I'm making you apply for this scholarship, like you still need to work for like some part of it, you know what I mean? Like,
So how about somebody else? When did you first start to see what's possible in your life? What do you remember? Like, you know, we had the idea, sky's the limit, right? Like
That it was first possible when, so like we weren't always like, I guess well off, because I was born in England, so when we first came here, it wasn't, I remember we lived in like a really tiny, like super shitty apartment, and oh my God.
Yeah. That's all right. Go ahead, keep going.
All right. We lived in a really tiny, like super bad apartment, and it wasn't until like we moved and we started going on, like, we never went on vacations like that. Well, my dad always tried to do, like, 3-day vacations to the beach, like Ocean City or something like that, really close by. But, like, it wasn't until we started going on, like, elaborate vacations and, like, traveling more, which is what my dad really loves to do. It wasn't until then that I realized that, I guess, anything is possible. Just because I really remember, like, living in that condition and then going to be able to travel to, like, Europe and Greece. It was just, like, this huge difference.
So let me ask you another question. What tells you that somebody's, like, in your class? Social class. Like, what tells you, like when you look around the room, if I start picking people out, what's going to tell you that, like Abigail? See, like, here are these 5 black women right here. Or these 5 white women right here, all right? Or whoever it is, Grace, right? 5 black women right here, these 5 white women over here. Like, what tells you that someone's in your class when you see them?
I think like being nonchalant about money and how much things cost. I think that's the biggest indicator.
Like, you don't talk about it?
No, like you don't really blink twice. Like with where I feel like I'm like borderline for this group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The mic close.
Sorry. So I have friends from like Singapore where she spent like $2K in a month at like the most expensive private school in the country. I think it's Masters in New York City, and like that was when she was like cut down to like 1,000. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, oh, like that's an indicator like this girl's rich. You know?
Yeah. Although I know there are people in the classroom who are going like, so you only spent $2K in a day? Okay, so they're being nonchalant about money. What else? What else do you pick out in people? Like clothes or hairstyle? Like, what do you see in people that you just know?
I remember like at my high school, it's just kind of like you knew no one with a nice car that they actually paid for it. So like the kids pulling up in Audis and BMWs to school, it's like those are the really rich kids, and then like everyone else you could kind of tell.
So if you got a really, really, really nice car,
Yeah, like 16
you know,
years
like,
old, if you have a nice car, you obviously didn't pay for all of it.
Right, like Abigail has the Cadillac SUV, right? Whereas, you know, you're driving the Honda, so I could look at you, the Honda Civic, and be like, oh, maybe she paid for that. But if you're driving a Cadillac SUV, I'm like, okay, she didn't pay for that. Not at all. Anything else that you look for?
I'm gonna say something kind of weird. I kind of have stopped like because of the school I went to. I think like a lot of the white kids that I like was friends with in my freshman year, like they kind of like expected all the like black and brown people to like not be as wealthy as them. And then like once I started like to branch out, like when I was like a tutor and when I like was doing interviews for the newspaper, I realized that like the richest kids at my school were like actually like the black kids, like, and it was crazy. And like so I've like stopped like kind of making those assumptions like based off of like, you know, how people like are groomed and dressed and stuff, and it's more like possessions, because like once like I realized that, I like would see like things I didn't see before, like you're carrying a Louis Vuitton backpack to school right now. Like I like started to notice that stuff, and like I think it's like the possessions say a lot about it, and the appearance says less, at least in my opinion.
So one of the things that I notice that I've been told by somebody who is really wealthy, like 10 figures wealthy, is like belts and shoes are key. Yeah. Belt is a key.
Yeah.
And shoes are key. And you just start right there. What's that? Shoes. Well, how did I know Abigail? I saw you immediately. I said, no, she's got money. What do you think I saw? Dude, what did I see? Can I ask somebody? What do you think I saw? Because I didn't look at you and say, oh, you got a lot of money. You might, but I didn't say it, right? But I saw her, and I did. So what did I see? What do you all think I saw?
I think
It wasn't just luck, by the way.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
I think you saw like I don't know how to put this, but like I don't look whitewashed, but like no, not like that. You know, like I have straight hair, and then like I glued my face, so like I guess I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know. Dudes. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not that either. It's something else. Okay, hang on. Let me ask you another question. We're not going to get to the other group in this class. We're going to get to the next class. What do you think what's the biggest thing that people misunderstand about people like you? What do you, like if we start talking about rich people, what do you think is the biggest thing that these people would misunderstand about you all?
I'd say like the one thing people say is like,
Talk right into the mic.
like I look really, sorry, I look really white for how Hispanic I am, but like, so like I feel like people just think like, oh yeah, he like is classified as Hispanic, but like he comes from like white privilege almost, and
Yeah.
like that's just like, and I kind of thought that too until like I saw like where my dad comes from, and like he kind of told me how he came up and stuff like that, and just like it's kind of hard to think like, you know, there was really no privilege, that like everything was kind of earned, that like my family got. So like, you know, I look up to my dad just because, you know, he's someone who really started with nothing and has become successful, and you know, kind of I take that to heart because it's kind of like I have a head start to where he began his life, and I don't want to kind of waste that opportunity.
Yep. Okay, cool. Somebody else. What do you think people misunderstand?
I think I also have a very similar like outlook is wealth. My dad was the first person to go to university, and he went to like a polytechnic. And so for me to even go to Penn State is a huge jump in quality of education. Like for most people, I guess it's like, oh, like went to Penn State, now like my kids are going to an Ivy. But I don't know, I just think I'm like authentic. I don't like for my family, we don't, because we value more experiences. Like we don't have an expensive house. It was like the first house we bought. Like I drove like a car older than me. It was the first car we got in America. Like I get it. Like I don't think I'm like rich, but I definitely know I have so much, like I have a lot of opportunity.
So you're fortunate.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. Yeah, somebody else. What do you think people misunderstand?
So I think a lot of people at my school would just automatically think that my parents have like Arab money, that like they got it from like owning a gas station or something, like oil, like Arab oil money or something like that, but like, or that they inherited it, they just like brought it like foreign money into the country, but like that's not the case at all, because my parents literally my dad grew up, he studied in England, and then from there he went to Iran, and then from Iran he went back to England, and that's when they had me, and then they came to America with absolutely
nothing.
With absolutely nothing. So.
Grace, yeah, thanks. How about you? What do you think people misunderstand the most?
This is like because I agree with everything everyone said up here so far. Like but this like is really recent for me. Like when like I came
Talk
up
right
here,
into the mic.
When I came up here, like, you know, everyone asks like when they're trying to get to know you, like, oh, like, where are you from? And I'll be like, DC, and they'll like ask, you know, and like I'll like mention like to some people who ask, like I'll be like, oh, my dad works like, you know, on Penn Ave or whatever. And I found that like a lot of people assume that my dad is like a Trump supporter, and like that's not the case at all. Like when they see like, you know, like I remember like him picking me up at school, and like some of my friends like, you know, like saw like, you know, him like in his like, you know, suit or whatever, like they were like, oh, like, you know, she's like, you know, like a Republican, like she supports Trump, and like I got like heckled at my school, and like he didn't vote for Trump, like he you know, it's like I don't know, like, and that's not a problem. Like I'm not saying that like I judge anyone for that, but I've just thought that's really interesting that like just because of like where I'm from and like the location of my dad's like office, that people literally think that like he works for Donald Trump. He does not work for Donald Trump.
So let me ask you. I work for Donald Trump, by the way. Let me ask you another question. What's like something that's really particularly negative? This is by the way, this is the last question. Does anyone have a question, by the way? Can I just keep asking questions? Bro, do you have a question? You had your hand like that. Yeah, what's your question? What's that?
Yes, we know what FAFSA stands for.
What stands for?
He said, do you know what FAFSA stands for?
Yeah. No, it's FAFSA. Oh, FAFSA, right, okay. Right, no, dude, no, they don't. Yeah, they do. Yeah, because... yeah, dude. What's particularly...
Yeah, I did too. My
Hey, Aiming, can you come here a minute? Come here. Okay. I'm going to ask you this question. All right, hang on. You ready? See this guy here? Do you know this guy?
No, but
Does he got money or not have money?
yeah, he got money.
What's that? No,
Yeah.
hang on, hang on. Put the camera on him. Does he have money or not have money?
Look at the shoes.
What do you see in the shoes?
Leather. Is it leather?
They're like real leather shoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not that cheap shit you buy at Payless shoes, right? Wait, so what else do you see? Belt. Do you have a belt
The
on, bro?
hair.
Okay, he doesn't have a belt. Wallet? Do you have your wallet? No, I don't carry. No, yeah, all right. Does he have money? What else do you see?
The hair. Yeah.
The hair?
It's perfectly like.
Yeah. So if you met him at a party, you'd be like,
Hold up.
he'd say he's one of us.
What does that mean, one of us?
Just like he's of a certain class.
I don't believe in that, but sure.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, I have a question. And I'm going to ask him one question. What's one of the problems that you see? You have 2 minutes to answer this. What's one of the problems, like the hassles associated with having a lot of money?
Well, I would say that having a lot of money is definitely better than not having a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Unless you're a Buddhist monk, but go ahead.
Right. Like you definitely have a lot less of problems in life and obstacles.
No, but give me what's one of the hassles of having a lot of money?
Well,
You have 60 seconds.
The hassles is probably like
Hey,
people
sit
don't
down,
understand
everybody.
that people with money also have worries in life. We also have the same desires and fears and needs in life. We're also humans. It's not always easy. Coming from a well-off background, people have different kind of expectations for you that you have to meet. You have different obligations you have to meet in life. Sometimes not everybody understands that.
Yeah, dude. All right, very cool. Would you all agree with that? I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you on Thursday.